Welcome to the Healthy Mental Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. Well, hi, and welcome back to the Healthy Mental Hippie. I am so excited to see you back here today. First of all, thanks, because I got a lot of really lovely messages last week again on the episode that we put out. Oh, look, and our special guest Arrow's here if you're watching on video. I'm really thankful to know that some of the things that I'm putting out are really resonating with you guys. And so thank you again for being here. It really means a lot to me. Today I really wanted to talk about the feeling of accepting love, accepting compliments, feeling like it's a safe thing to do. You know, I had my friend called me on the weekend, and he's actually one of the former guests on the show, one of the really early ones. You'll have to go way back. It's Bob. He's talking about his transformation. Okay. And we had this lovely call on the weekend, and we were talking about accepting love. That feeling that it's really, really hard to accept compliments and accept that people love you and they actually think that you're pretty great. And it's interesting because it's been this like kind of recurring theme over the last week or so. That's kind of how I think of these things, is because I had a cool conversation with somebody. Another couple of friends, I've been talking to another former guest on the show just a few weeks back, Melanie. We've been chatting, and she's just telling me, you know, about that feeling of like finding your people. We were talking a lot about that, finding your people, feeling accepted by them. And I also don't know if I'm brave enough, but I might put it as an overlay. I sent her a picture. I'm like, yeah, here I go. I'm off for my walk this morning. I feel disgusting, but going for a walk before I do all the things, and like, hey, and and then she sends me back. She's like, you look so cool. And that would be the last word that I would have used to describe myself this morning. But then I'm looking at it with a less critical approach than what I would normally look. And I went, yeah, actually that is kind of a cool picture, even if my hair looks and I'm like, yeah, if I saw somebody else post that, I'd probably think they were really cool too. And it's just nice. It's nice when people say nice things to you. Again, kind of like we were talking about last week, of course, you know, we want all this stuff to come from within, but sometimes it doesn't, at least not at the beginning. Some of the discussions that I've had have really been talking about childhood abuse, bullying, spousal abuse, like, because clearly I talk about that a lot with people. And but interesting how so many of these people that I talk to, this wall that we hit about not being able to accept love from somebody, accept that people do think we add value, a lot of it seems to come back to childhood kind of trauma and abuse and all that kind of fun stuff. I look at these people around me and I go, my God, you are incredible. 1, for the things that you've overcome, 2, for the things that you're doing, and 3, for the incredible vision and love that you have for other people. We need to celebrate those things more and really be cheering people on for all of those things that we do. So for Melanie to say that I look really cool in my workout gear and my sunglasses heading out with my fluffy dog, well, actually, I've admired her for the last 20 years that I've known her, more than 20 years. Oh my. Okay. But, and so for her to say that I'm cool, it's kind of a big deal for me. So kind of having a fangirl kind of moment. It's funny how these patterns stick, right? And these silly things stick. Here's a couple that I'll tell you that stick with me. Oh, we'll have a moment here because we're gonna share. So I'm gonna tell you a couple things that were, in my childhood, early teens that stuck with me. And I've told some people this story before, but whatever, let's do it again. So one of them, I really liked this boy, okay? And I really liked him. And he asked me out. And I was like, sure. I was really skeptical. But I was like, yes. And then at the end of the day at school, he said, God, I'm like, how are people this mean? And I think that's what I need to examine is, why are people so mean? I mean, I don't think a lot of people are, but God, kids are mean. And so he said to me, you would have to be stupid to think that I would go out with somebody as ugly as you. And so that hurt. But for some reason, that one, I don't know why, that one just really stuck with me. Maybe that was because it was like that was a really big crush that I had. I don't know. I had crushes before, but they were all just lovely, but not this one. And yeah, so there's things like that. Another one that sticks with me is and I'm sorry, because again, okay, if you're not saying your stuff out loud, maybe you should start, because I say this stuff out loud and I'm like giggling because I'm like, actually talking about it, so stupid. Why does this stuff bother me? But anyway, most of it truthfully doesn't really bother me anymore, but I can hear it at times. Okay, so this one was, you will never be as good of a person as Britney Spears. I love Britney. She's pretty amazing, but I will never have her talent, her charisma, her people skills, and her looks. And so that was that. What a weird thing to say to somebody, but that's yeah, that was one that sticks with me, and I still always find it bizarre. But the best part is when you start looking for evidence that goes against all this dumb shit that people say to you, you're going to find overwhelmingly there's a lot more that is contrary to what they say. Okay. So in these conversations that I've had with people, again, I think it's important for everybody to have, and I know that in other people's journeys that I have talked to on healing from abuse and PTSD and all the other stuff, the work that they do is also supported by words of affirmation from people around them. Okay. So yeah, when I have people coming to me and saying, Ash, this really inspired me, or this really helped me look at this from a new perspective, or do you realize that you're putting great things into the world? I go, oh my God, I feel seen, I feel understood, and it's supporting the work that you do internally, and it reinforces it as you are like growing in self-confidence and growing your self-love and your compassion for yourself. I think this is really cool, and I think it's a really positive thing. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor of any sort, okay? But I'm just telling you things about how I have perceived things, how I understand it in my conversations with other people. And, I think one of the best things that we can do to help each other is to continually speak those words of affirmation. If you admire something in somebody, remind them, tell them about it. Repeatedly, you say, for me, with some of the people I work with, it's constantly like, your outfit is so cool. Your makeup looks so good. I really love the way that you thought about this. I really love how you talk to this person like that. You look amazing. You are amazing, because our worlds are filled with incredible people. And sometimes I think we're just caught up in our own little worlds a little bit too much. And then we forget to tell everybody else, like, I fucking love you. It's that age old saying of, you never know what somebody is going through, where they may be having the absolute worst day of their life. They may be going through something extremely heavy that you don't know about. You know what's helpful? Words of affirmation. Words of, I love you. Words of, this is what you're doing well. Words of, I care about you. I care about you, who you are. I care about what you're doing. And, like, I'm here for you and I'm cheering for you in everything that you do. That is the part, though, where it's really easy that we get stuck in our own worlds. And come on, I do it too. I get stuck in my own world often. And I really, really try to make sure that I'm like staying open and talking to people and, and connecting with them, because one, it makes me happy, and two, you probably know my kind of motto is leaving people better than you find them. And I really think it's valuable. So it's easy to see why we get stuck in these feelings of being unworthy and unlovable. But it makes me really happy when I hear that people I know who have struggled through this are working their way through it. They're slowly being able to say thank you to a compliment and say, no, like, no, that's not right. They're saying thank you. They're saying, I appreciate that. They're acknowledging if they haven't been able to accept something like that before. And they're going forth on their path of healing. I always felt like I was able to love, like, everybody, but I was unworthy of love. That's not a good that's not a good thing to feel. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of therapy and a lot of work to recognize, yes, I am deserving of love. I am worthy of love for myself, and that other people can love me too. And there is nothing wrong with me, like, nothing inherently wrong with me, And I think when you can start to accept that, and I'm not going to lie, I falter on that quite a lot. But every day or every time I'm experiencing something like that, it gets easier to accept it. And part of it is surrounding yourself with good people, and the ones that want to see you succeed, and the ones that love seeing you win, and the ones that lighten up your day and make you happy. So you are worthy. If you have been feeling that way lately, that you're not worthy and that you're not lovable, and I hate saying it, if you feel that the world would be a better place without you, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong. I know for a fact that the world's so much better that you're here. And Arrow knows that too. I want to remind you to be kind to yourself, to speak nice words to yourself, even if it's something about, I want to improve this or change that or blah, blah, blah. Those things are okay. You can always want to improve, but be kind to yourself in the journey and where you're at, and understand that you are making progress. And I'm really proud of you. So today I'm going to send you lots of love, lots of happiness, lots of magic. And I hope that you have a beautiful start to the week, or end to the week, whenever you're listening to this. Just enjoy your day. And you know what? If there's somebody that you want to tell them how amazing they are, just go out and tell them. I will always be that person that tells people that they love them too much, or that they're fabulous, or they look amazing, or they're doing amazing. I will always be that person, because I would rather all of it be said than leave anything left unsaid. Always take that opportunity to tell someone you love them. Okay. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for joining us on the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast. For more ways to connect, go to www.healthymetalhippie.com.